So let me take some minutes to introduce our speaker to us. So the name of our speaker today is Abraham Victor. And Abraham Victor happens to be a training and development expert. So Abraham Victor is a personal learning and development professional who works with CEOs, executives, solopreneurs, and individuals to identify, plan, design, execute, and evaluate their learning and development projects. Victor is passionate about helping businesses and individuals discover, develop, and impact their world with their gifts, products, and services. Victor has a master degree in manpower training and development from the University of Lagos, Nigeria, and is also a certified career coach from the Transformation Academy. In addition to this, he also has certifications in NLP mastery, nailing method, and instructional design. Victor is the founder of Talent360.ng, a consulting firm that provides career coaching and recruitment services. Amazing thing about Victor is that he enjoys watching the NBA, and his favorite player is Steph Curry, one of the Gold State Warriors. Join me, everybody, to welcome today our speaker, Abraham Victor, who will be helping us with the topic of goal setting and actualization. So today we'll be learning how do you set realistic goals in 2022. And at the end of the day, you'll be proud of your achievements and the contribution you have made to your career. So join me as I made welcome Victor Abraham. So you are welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us in today's.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. You are welcome.
Okay, all right. Just checking my sound to be sure you can hear me.
Right.
Okay. All right, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. I didn't know that you were actually referring to me, but let's get this going. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining in. Please let me know if you're not able to hear me so that I don't talk to myself. Elijah, you can put a call through if you're not able to get me through the chat box, okay? All right, fantastic. All right, so they have already said a lot about me, so let me not waste much of your time. Thank you so much for being on the call. Today I'm going to be sharing some of the thoughts that have helped me grow in my personal career, and have also helped businesses and individuals also. So one of the things, so let me just go through some of the outcome I have aligned for you guys. At the end of this training, one of the things you will gain is personal clarity about your goals for 2022, especially your career goals. Learn how to organize your goals in accordance to priority. You'd also be able to learn how to write actionable goals. You'll be able to conduct a personal development needs assessment, and you would also be able to break your goals into actionable steps. All right. So without any further ado, let's get into the course. The course is broken down into three major structure. The first stage is the personal clarity stage. The second stage is the personal development needs assessment stage. Then the third stage is the design and execution stage. All right. So let me just put on my video so that you can see me. Okay. think my camera is not so great. So let me put it up. All right. Now, so let me just go through my profile have already been read, but let me just tell you a little bit about myself. In 2016 rather, shortly after my NYSC, just like most of us, I got into the place where personally I started struggling because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. We always have plans until it is time to execute. Then we realize that okay, we don't actually have a plan, right? We always have these big dreams in our head until it is time to execute. Then we realize that, oh, yeah. So I was talking about myself. So I got stuck at after NYSC. So I started working in my church office. It was so bad, right? There was no sense of direction for my life, no sense of direction. I graduated with a third class, graduated in physics education. I didn't want to teach physics because already I graduated with a third class, so you know how much I struggled in physics. So how do I want to go and teach something I'm not very good at? So that was where my problem was. So I didn't want to teach physics. Now, if you didn't want to teach physics, you have spent 4 years in the university. Nobody's going to send you back to school. Age is not on your side. Um, African parents demand that you begin to contribute to the family immediately you graduate from school. So going back to school is not the option, right? So I was at home I was working in church office with no sense of direction, right? For up to 8 months, right? At some point, um, my I attended a conference. So I attended this conference. It's called um, Activate Conference. So in the conference, Ezekwesili was one of the speakers. So Ezekwesili talked about the power of one, right? And she talked about how one person can cause massive change, right, in their environment. And there is nobody that can cause that change for you until you discover who you are. So I realized that for a very long time I have abandoned who I was, and I was trying to be this other kind of person, which was getting me confused. So I left that conference. I went back home. I sat down with myself and I asked myself, who am I? Okay, and what am I really passionate about? What do I want to do with my life? What are the kind of results I want to have in my life? What really wakes me up? What makes me get excited? It was in the midst of having those conversations that I began to find answers, right? And fast forward today in 2016, that was not too far away ago. 2016, I was confused. I didn't know what to do with my life. Today, I have my company. I am consulting for organizations. I don't just work with managers, I work with business owners, right? I train. I am an HR professional right now. I am a professional recruiter. Um, I have my master's in training and development, right? And I'm going for my PhD next year. So I'm starting my PhD sometime this year, rather. So how did I make that transition? How did I move from that place of confusion to where I am today? And that is what has informed how I have structured particular course, right? So the first stage in setting goals, this is one of the mistakes a lot of people make. Goals is not about writing things you want to achieve, right? That's not where goals start from. That is why a lot of people set goals that in 3 weeks they are disengaged from, they are not excited about, and they don't seem to find the motivation or the commitment needed to stick to that goal until it is achieved. The reason is because a lot of people don't set goals that is relevant to them. They set goals that are relevant to other people. They set goals that are relevant to trend. They set goals according to how they are feeling at that point, but they don't set goals that is relevant to them, that will engage them in the long run, right? So the reason why I have been able to, in a way, make transitions was because I was able to discover some certain things and set goals around them and make sure that, I stick to the goals and I achieved those goals, right? So that is why I structure this course in a way that is going to help you. It's not your normal, this is not your conventional goals. Remember, I'm a manpower training and development professional. So I know how to help you discover what the cause of your challenges are, and also help you design a program to solve it. Okay. So the first stage in setting goals, sorry, the first the first stage in setting goals is being clear about who you are and what you want. That is the first stage. So I need somebody to write personal clarity on the chat box. All right, write personal clarity. The first stage to setting effective and relevant goals is personal clarity. Personal clarity is the very first thing that you need to address. The reason why people set goals that are not relevant to them, or they don't seem to find the motivation to achieve, is because they are not clear about who they are. Okay, so I want to see on the chat box, okay, personal clarity, personal clarity, personal clarity. Let me see it on the chat box so that I'm sure that somebody is following. I'm sure that I'm not talking to myself. Yeah, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Put it on the chat box. Personal clarity, personal clarity, personal clarity. I want to see it on the chat box. Okay. Personal clarity. Okay, Elijah. Okay, I see you. Personal clarity. Yes. That is where everything starts from. Thank you, Johnson. Personal clarity. Yes. How effective and how relevant your goal is directly proportional to how clear you are about yourself. Is directly proportional to your personal clarity. Yes. Okay. Now, personal clarity is broken down. Thank you, guys. Personal clarity is broken down into three major stages, or into three major categories. Number one is personal identity. Number two is personal responsibility. And number three is personal possibility. Okay, I'm going to say it again. Personal clarity is broken down into three major categories. Number one, personal identity. Number two is personal responsibilities. And number three is personal possibilities. Okay, personal identity, personal responsibilities, and personal possibilities. So you need to write that down. If you're following, also, please, somebody should write it on the chat box. This is how you help yourself to be clear about what you really want. Okay. Now, if it is your broad goal setting class, what I would do is I would help you to identify the major areas of your life where you need to set goals. But because most of us here are already career people, or one or two of us are into business and all that, it has helped to streamline that stuff. Okay. So what is personal clarity? What is personal identity? Personal identity is how you identify. Okay, is simply how you identify in the world. Now, there are major areas of your life. You have career, you have business, you have family, you have finance, you have sports, and thank you very much. You have sports and fitness. You have all these other area. Okay, so you need to be clear about how you identify in each area of your life. Now, let me take for instance, because why personal identity is important is because that is where invisible energy seepers are. Most of the things that drain us, and most of the things that drain our time, our energy, and our resource is tied to our invisible identities. A lot of times we don't know how powerful this is. Okay, so let me give you a practical example. Let me take an area that is broad, an area like family, for instance. One person in family can identify as a father, as a husband, as a son, as a son-in-law, as a sibling, as a brother-in-law, as an uncle, and all that. Those are all the person's identity within the area of family, right? Now, the person will just say, hey, I'm just trying to be a good uncle now. I'm just trying to be a good son and everything. The problem with that idea is that as long as you're trying to be everybody, you are being nobody, right? Which will, at the end of the day, make you ineffective. You will most likely struggle as a father, struggle as a husband, struggle as an uncle, because you don't have the time, energy, and resources to attend to all these identities. Okay, so you have to pick the one that is most important to you, and that is how it is in some of us life right now. You have multiple talent. You're a drummer in church, you are a graphic designer, you are an entrepreneur in this other end, you are what's it called, a consultant somewhere, and all these things, you are just juggling everything. They are fine. Some of them give you money, some of them give you that sense of belonging, some of them give you a sense of prestige. But if you don't know how you identify in your career, you're going to struggle in setting goals that are relevant to you. Most of us have entered this year with multiple identities already in our career, because we want to hustle, we want to double the hustle. As fantastic as that thing is, it has side effects. Having multiple side hustle is not healthy for growing anything. You might survive right now, you might thrive, but you will not be positioning yourself, or you will not be able to position yourself for future opportunities. These are some of the implications nobody says that you cannot juggle certain things, right? But you must be clear about which is number one in your career. What is number one in your career? What is number two in your career? What is number three in your career? You must also do this in the area of your business, because without that clarity, there are a lot of things you're not going to be able to do. So let me take, for instance, personally now, as Victor Abraham, as I said, I'm an HR professional. I'm a recruiter, and I'm also a training and development expert, right? These are different identities. All of them demand different things from me, right? All of them demand different things from me. So if I don't organize myself very well, I'm going to struggle to be effective as an HR manager, as a recruitment professional, and also a training and development expert. Do you see? So what you want to do is, first of all, in the area of your career, list out the ways you identify, or what are the things that, what are the different hats you wear in the area of your career. So write it down so that you're not confused. I think like Elijah is he's a graphic designer. I think he's going into UI UX. I don't know if he's doing websites and all those stuff. So there are a lot of things, right? Elijah, am I right? So what you want to do is to write how you identify, okay? Write how you identify according to priorities. All your career, all the areas you identify in your career, write it down. All the ways you identify. As I said, personally, as Victor Abraham, I have different identities in my career space. I'm an HR manager, I am a recruitment professional, and I'm also a training and development expert, right? These are the core three things I have identified, but I know the number one. Others are just side hustle. In the long run, they are not what I want to do in the future, but they are the things I find myself doing right now because, body and soul have to, put together. I don't know if you understand. So write down your identity in your career in order of priority. How do you identify in the space of your career in order of priority? So write them down. The major one on top, the other ones below. So let me take recruitment, for instance, recruitment professional, for instance, as mine. So recruitment professional, that's my number one. Okay, I'm just assuming that's my number one. But of course, learning and development is my number one. But let me just assume that recruitment professional is my number one. Okay, so that is where I'm going to set my goals on. Now, the next thing you need to do is after personal identity, you have to be clear about personal responsibility. Now, personal responsibility suggests that you identify the major functions as it relates to that career path, which is more like, for instance, for me now, recruitment professionals. You ask yourself, what are the major functions of a recruitment professional? What are the major functions? I did not say what are all the functions, because a recruitment professional can have up to 20 functions. But what are the major functions? What are the top 20% that if a recruitment professional knows and does very well, he's going to be successful in life? Ask yourself that question. In your career right now, what are the top functions? What are the top functions that define that particular role or that particular identity that you have? So let me take, for instance, I'm going to be using the chat box to share some of my concepts. So number one is must be able to so ability to source qualified candidates, great interview skills, um, ability to source, ability to review rather, ability to review top CVs, right? So I just identified three major functions that capture a recruitment professional task, right? So I just identified the top three functions. As I said, some of these functions can be up to 20, but you must identify, you must use the 20-80, you must use the, is it the 80-20 rule to do this work? Because you don't have the time, the energy, and the resource to focus on everything. Are you hearing me? So you must know in the area of your profession, what are the top tasks that you must be able to perform? Elijah, as a graphic designer, what are the top three things that a successful graphic designer must be able to know and do? Right? As a web development manager or as a web development professional, what are the top three things or the top 5 skills or the top 5 functions a web development manager must be able to perform? Other ones are important, but what are the top that if you don't know how to do them, just forget about your career? Okay, so you must be able to identify those particular tasks because those are the things that you are going to aim to be successful at and you're going to aim to master if you want to be successful in that particular field. Okay, so the next thing is personal possibility. Now ask yourself, if I am able to perform my tasks, those tasks that I have highlighted, if I'm able to perform it at the very best, what results will I be able to achieve? What results will I be able to achieve? Or what am I trying to create as a result of performing those tasks very well? So let me take, for instance, let me give you an example. Now, you don't put a limit on yourself here. You don't put a limit on yourself. So let me take, for instance, an accountant, for instance, the possibility or the big picture of an accountant, sorry, personal possibility is also called your big picture, okay? Or your personal vision, right? Now, Your big picture or your personal vision or your personal possibility for an accountant could be becoming a, maybe, of course, it's not chartered accountant, maybe becoming the chief financial controller of a Fortune 500 company in the next 15 years. That could be the big picture. To become the chief financial controller of a Fortune 500 company within the next 15 years. That could be the person's big picture. The person's big picture could also be to start an accounting firm that serve SMEs in Nigeria, or to be one of the leading financial consultants in the tech sector in the next 10 years. Do you see how I am able to craft this? You see how I'm able to craft this thing from personal identity and personal responsibility? You're able to craft your personal possibility. People are living life without a sense of vision. People are majoring on the minor because they don't know these things I just shared with you. So personal clarity, identify what the various identity are in your career and list them according to priority. Second thing, ask yourself, the number one, what are the major functions I need to perform to be able to succeed at this career? What are the top 5 functions that define this career that I have chosen? Number 3, what is the big picture? What am I trying to create? What am I trying to achieve? What problem am I trying to solve? What solution am I trying to provide? Who are the people that I want to impact? What change do I want to make? Remember, I did not mention money because money is a product of solving problems. Okay, I didn't mention money, but some people can say, okay, oh, my goal last now money. So the reason why I want to be successful in my career is because at the end of in the next 10 years, I want to become a billionaire. Well, it's fine. That is also a big picture of God help you, right? Yeah. So let me get feedback. Are you getting value already? Let me see your feedback. Let me see. Because listen, without personal clarity, forget about all those things. Without personal clarity, anything you write as a goal is a to-do list. Are you hearing me? Without personal clarity, anything you write as a goal is a to-do list. You will most likely not do it. Okay? Let's go. I want to get feedback. Okay, are you sure? Huge one. Fantastic. We are going to where things are going to get complex. So if you're not getting it yet, you're going to dance. Okay. Right on, sir. Fantastic. Okay, so let us go to the next one. Now, how do you write a goal? Elijah, I would have loved to share my screen at this point, but maybe I'll just copy it and paste it on. Yeah, how do you write your goals? Okay, so let me just copy something and paste it on the chat box, right? Okay, guys, now.
If you want to, hello sir, if you want to share your screen, let me know. You can share your screen.
Can I share my screen now?
Yes, you can.
It said host disabled participants screen sharing.
Okay, you can do that now. I've done that. You can share now.
Okay. Okay, so I'm on the screen, right?
Yes,
can you see my screen?
Fantastic. Yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay. All right. So the stage 2, we are done with personal. We're done with personal clarity. Now, at the end of personal clarity, this is what you are supposed to have. Now, remember, I said that this particular training is for the general goal setting. Okay. So this included family, career, and education. right? This is for general goal setting. But for most of us that are in career and business, you can see this particular one that I have done here. I didn't really do all the work. I just did for family because I was actually training some people on it. So that's it. Then this is the personal responsibility I was talking about. The 80-20% rule, where it says that 20% of what we do leads to 80% of our results. So you need to, if you want to be effective and efficient in life, you must find the 20% that makes for the 80% of your results. My brother, you're going to waste less time in this life and you're going to have amazing results. That is why CEOs are not busy running around in their company. They allow you to do the running around. They do the 20%, which is the thinking, which is the visioning. You are the one that is doing the hands-on, but you're not thinking. They are getting richer. You are doing the work. You show up Monday to Saturday for some people, and you are paid a certain amount. The guy is not paid a certain amount. The guy gets profit. So you see what I say. All right, so so let us go to the second stage. The second stage is the personal development needs analysis assessment stage. So in this stage, what you're going to do is that you're going to gain clarity of your short-term goals. You're going to do a tax and KSA assessment, then analyze your personal development gap. I'm going to try as much as possible to tailor this because it is career. We've already made it simple for myself. So you've already made it simple for me. Now, before goal setting, let me explain what a goal is. You see that big picture, that big picture that we were able to, that personal possibility that we're able to establish, right? What the big picture is, what are you trying to achieve next 5 years, next 10 years, next 15 years? Some people don't see that far, okay? How far you can see, stick with it. As you know, you keep developing on yourself, you keep getting clarity. Now, let me give you guys a clue. During personal clarity, you're going to get a little bit discouraged and all that. The reason is because you might not find answers easily. So I would advise that most times don't do your personal clarity alone. Consult with people who can help you think, or who can help you find answers, right? That's why consultants are there, okay? So another thing you can do is to do research, okay? If you identify any area of your life where you have passion in, read books in that particular area. Read books about people who have succeeded in that area. Okay, you are going to see that the moment you start reading and researching, your vision will just get bigger and clearer. That's how this thing works. It's not rocket science. Okay, there is nothing like, everybody have the power to imagine and to create a vision for their lives. The reason is because the reason why a lot of people don't do it is because they lack the relevant information to be able to cook a vision for themselves. I hope you have gotten that. I just gave you massive value for free at that point. Okay, now let's go to the next stage. Now, we have already established our big vision, and our big vision is our big picture rather is in the next 5 to 10 years, right? That cannot engage us. Nobody can sustain momentum for 5 to 10 years, okay? So what you want to do is that you take that vision and you break that vision down into, or you take that big picture and you break it down into smaller goals that can be achieved in 5 years, in 2 years, in 3 years, and in this case, in a year. Okay, so your goals must be broken down into, your big picture rather must be broken down into smaller goals. Let me say it again. It is your big picture that you break down into smaller goals. Let me say it again. It is your big picture that you break down into smaller goals. Okay, so let me take, for instance, most of you are not in Lagos. Okay, okay, so let me say, for instance, you want to write common entrance, right? You want to write common entrance and you're in primary 1. Okay, you want to write common entrance in primary 5. If you want to write common entrance in primary 5, you must be able to pass primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, and you must be able to get to primary 5, right? Now, those primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, primary 4, and primary 5 that you are doing, those things are what is called goal. Your big picture is to write common entrance, but you must break that big picture into smaller achievable goals, which is pass primary 1, primary 2, primary 3, and primary 4. So what does that make goals? Goals are just landmark. They are signs to show that you are actually on the right path towards achieving your big picture. Somebody should write that down. Goals, they are signs. They are signs or they are milestones to show you that you are on the right path towards achieving your big picture. Did anybody get that? So all these things we are saying, goals. Goals are not an end to themselves. You are not successful because you have goals. Goals are means to an end, right? That is why it is not good to keep postponing some certain goals. Every time you postpone a certain goal, you postpone something even bigger, your big picture. You postpone something bigger. So if you're not successful in smaller goals, how do you want to, if you're not successful in smaller goals, how do you want to achieve your big picture? Oh, I want to make 5 billion naira when I get in the next 5 years and everything. You can't actually invest 50,000 naira. Don't worry, manna will fall from heaven for you. Okay, so you don't know how things work. Okay, so your big picture must be broken down into smaller goals. It is that smaller goal that we now use to plan our year. Okay, it is the smaller goals that we now use to plan our year. I hope this was valuable. Please, if you understand, indicate on the chat box. If you understand what I just explained, goals, thank you very much. Say goals are signs or milestones to show you that you are on the right path towards achieving your big picture. Fantastic. That is what it is. That is what it is. Okay. If you understand, give me a thumbs up or give me something, show me something, write something on the chat box, because now we're going to where the real meat is. We're going to where the fire is. I need to be sure that you are here. Okay, so I need your attention. The only way I can know that you're listening is your activity on the chat box. Thank you. Yes, I see you. The only way I'm sure that you're listening is your activity on the chat box. So let me see. Let's go, people. Let's go. One more. Fantastic. All right, so let's go. So how do you write goals? Simple. So this is a template for writing goals. All right, this is a template for writing goals. You know, normally we usually use the SMART goal setting. We usually use the SMART model to write goals. Okay, but actually this template also helps. The reason why I'm not using SMART here is because for a lot of people, they get confused in between all the acronyms of the SMART and everything. So it's very confusing. But this particular template also covers for every element in your SMART. So what are goals? Or what are the simple ways of writing goals? So example, by so date, I will state your outcome. So why that outcome is important, for who that outcome will impact. That is it. That is how you write your goal. Or I will expected outcome by so date so as to. So let me give you a practical example of what I just wrote now, okay, on the chat box. So let me give you a practical example, right? So let's use the first one, okay? By 25th of February, 2022, I will launch my first premium course. Okay, why? So as to help. Let me see which of the templates I'm using. Okay, yeah. So as to help small businesses, recruit top talents on a budget. Top talents on a budget. Okay, so by 25th February 2022, I will launch my first premium course. You see how clear that statement is? You see how clear that outcome is? My first premium course. I did not say a course, I say premium course. Now, I will launch my first. Why? To help small businesses recruit top talents on a budget. So you see that I have been able to help you see who that thing will. You see the expected date there, the specific outcome there, and who that product will impact. Okay, let me use the second model. The second model is still work for the second model. All right, or let me use another. Let me not use recruitment now. Let me not use this thing. Okay. Okay, I will. Please, as you see me do this stuff, I want you to do it also for any of your goals. Just write it. There is no right or wrong. I want to see it on the comment section. You have seen me write something. Use this template. It's very easy. Input the date, input the outcome you want to be able to achieve, input why that thing is important. You don't have to be like me. I can rewrite the goal I just wrote there, that by 25th February 2022, I will launch my first premium course so as to establish myself as an authority in the recruitment sphere, and also help small businesses recruit top talent on a budget. You see, I've written the same thing, but I just use the template, right? So this is a template, it's a fantastic template for you to be able to write your goals. So write one of your career goals for 2022. You can say that by March, I will start my ICANN exams, or I will write my ICANN exams and all that. That's a goal. You can say that by so and so, by March, I should have completed a course in this and this. You can say that by this, I should have gotten a promotion. Any of these things work. Okay, just use the model, the template I just gave to you, or that you can see on your screen, and it will help you. Okay, so I want to see the first person who is going to write a goal for us using this template. Okay, somebody should write a goal using that template. Somebody should write a goal. Remember, your goal have to have certain feature for it to be a goal. There must be a time, there must be an outcome, there must be a reason why, and who that thing will impact. Okay, it's very, very important. You can also use this template. Okay, let me not give you work. So let me just allow you. Okay, so I want to see the first goal. Somebody should write a goal using this template for me. I'm waiting. Somebody should write a goal using that template. Write a goal using that template for me. Let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go, people. I'm waiting. Oh, I'm on my WhatsApp. I'm waiting, guys. Where are we? Let's go, people. Hello. Okay, I'm still here now. Okay, so by 21st March, I will launch my YouTube channel. Oh, fantastic. Yeah, Yeah. Oh, Cladox Media, fantastic. Do you see how easy this thing is? Thank you. Thank you. You make me feel like I'm doing a great job. Okay, 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 okay. One more person, one more person, one more person. One more. For those of you who are in career, it can be a career switch. It can be you want to you want to get a new job. You want to get a high-paying job. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can write that for you. Okay, so let's say that by April, by April 2022, I will get a, I will get, okay, I will be working with a top tech firm in Lagos as a human resource manager, so as to enable me pay my bills and register for my CIPM exams. Okay, so you see, this looks like a career goal. Okay, this looks like a career goal. Now, guys, the reason why I'm sitting down on this goal is because without this, if you leave this training without writing a goal, you did not attend this training. Okay, that's why I'm sitting on it. That's why I'm almost insisting that somebody else should write their goal. Somebody else should put their goal on the. Any other thing we're doing right now is basically technique. Anything we're doing right now is technique. Anything we're doing from here on, this is the last place where you're going to use your head or you're going to think too hard. The next thing we are doing is technique. Technique, 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 technique. One more goal, one more goal, one more goal, one more goal. Elijah, I need you to write a vision, a goal for me. Write a goal, write a goal. Someone should just write a goal. Use the template and write a goal. So from my goal, you see my date, you see when I want to achieve it. April. By April this year, I want to be able to I want to be working with a top tech firm in Lagos as a human resource manager so as to enable me pay my bills and register for my CFPM exams. Okay, very, very clear. Statement of purpose, very clear. Motivation, very clear. Outcome, very clear. Date, very clear. Okay. All right, if I wait for you guys, night will follow. All right, so in the absence of any other goal, let me go to the next thing. Okay, Johnson, by 30th of March 2022, I should have finished my Laravel course so as to have fit more into backend development job. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, to finish the course, that's a goal. Anyway, okay, it's okay. It's okay. That works. It works. Johnson, it works. Fantastic. Okay, thank you guys. Let's go to the next one. So personal development needs analysis. Okay. Now, from the goals that we have written down, we have written our goal, we have written statement of intent, we have written the dates. Now is the time we need to do the work. Okay, so we need to do the work. The next thing you must ask yourself is, now that I have written my goals, ask yourself, what are the tasks, activities, or steps I need to take to achieve that goal? Remember your 80-20 rule, okay? So when you are setting these tasks, ask yourself, what are the major tasks that I need to perform to be able to achieve this goal, right? So because I want to be as practical as possible, I'm going to be working with you guys on this. So now let me take my goal of this one here, working with a top tech firm. Okay. Now, what are some of the things I need to do to be able to, what are some of the activities, right, I need to perform? Job search, networking, uh, let me see, uh, send CVs, out, complete a training in tech human resource. Okay. All right, guys. So now I have just brainstormed some key activities or steps I need to take to be able to actualize my goal of working in a tech company. So goals don't achieve themselves. Goals don't achieve themselves. It is the work that you put in place that ensures that you're able to achieve the goals. Okay, so what are the steps? You have to be able to identify the goal. Now, what are the steps or the activities that you need to perform to be able to achieve that goal? So I wrote job search. Job search is job search is the process of looking for employment in certain kind of industry. Remember, I specified tech. So I'm going to list out all the tech companies and start applying to them, right? The next one is networking. Networking in the sense that I'm going to begin to try to connect with folks who are in the tech industry to be able to know where the vacancies that are in tech are, to be able to know what I need to do to be able to look attractive to a tech organization. All those things. I want to make networks. I want to do a lot of networking because of my goal. The next thing is to send out CVs. Of course, I want to be able to review my CV, rework my CV, and send my CV out to organizations that, to tech organizations that are looking for human resource manager. Another thing I want to do also is to make myself more attractive is I want to do or complete a training in tech human resource. Now, the reason why I say tech human resource is these things can be seen online though. Tech human resource is a little bit different from your conventional human resource because of the kind of functions that are being performed in the tech industry. So these are some of the things that I can do, okay, to be able to do it, right? So that is what it is, so that we don't move so slow. The next one is, after you have identified these tasks, the next thing you want to ask yourself is, what do I need to know to be able to perform these tasks effectively? What do I need to know to be able to perform these tasks effectively? Why did I break it down into no? Or what do I need to learn? Everything you know how to do today, you learned it. I'm going to say it again. Everything you know how to do today, you learned it. No matter how talented you are, you needed to learn how to do something to take your raw talent to an advanced stage. Okay, so everything you know how to do today, you learned it. So learning is the root of skill and knowledge. Learning is the root of all skill and knowledge. Learning is the root of all mastery. Okay, so you must break that goals and those you must break the goals into activities or tasks, then break that task down into what we call KSA: knowledge, skill, and attitude. What are the knowledge and the skill, the attitude I need to be able to perform these tasks? Every task in your life, listen to me, it takes a certain amount of knowledge, skill, and attitude to perform anything, to do anything. The reason why I am not very good with graphic design is because I don't have the knowledge, the skill, and the attitude to do it. I am not very patient. I can't sit down on something and want to what is it called now? I want to design something for so long. I sit down and I'm doing one thing like that. I don't know. I don't have that patience, right? I don't have the skill. I don't even know what Illustrator is. I don't know what Adobe is. If you leave me with those applications, they'll be looking at me for the next only God know how long, right? And I don't even know the first thing when it comes to designing. I don't know how to color blend. I don't even know when and where to put images. I'm not even interested, right? But it is these things that when you know them very well, they are able to help you perform a certain task, which will help you to help you to achieve certain results. There are things you need to know that help you perform certain tasks, that help you achieve certain results. All right. Okay. Okay. So let me take this again. So first of all, you write your goal. The next thing is to break your goal down into the simple tasks or steps that you need to achieve that goal. Then the third thing is to ask yourself, what is the knowledge, the skill, and the attitude I need to achieve that goal? So at the end of this session, this is what it's going to look like. Your big goal, your goal is here. The top steps that you need to perform are here. Then you break the steps down into the knowledge, the skill, and the attitude that you will need. Okay. So at the end of this session, this is what it's going to look like. This is what you should be able to create. Okay. It's going to make everything clear for you. It's going to make everything clear for you. All right. Okay. All right, so let me get feedback before we move to the next, before we move to the analysis part. Before we move to analysis part, are you getting value? Are you getting value? Do you have questions? I want to take one or two questions before I move forward. I want to take one or two questions before I move forward. Okay. I want to take one or two questions before I move forward. If you are good, give me a thumbs up, give me a go ahead. I know Nigerian match has started, so we'll be done in no time. Okay, just allow yourself learn these things right now so that you don't set bomb instead of setting goals. You don't set bomb instead of setting goals, because bomb are things that explode, goals are things that you achieve. Okay. Okay, saying go ahead, thumbs up, fantastic, fantastic. So I'm going to be a little bit practical now. Practical, practical, practical. So everybody follow me, right? Now, here I said, remember this here, this angle here. Okay, somebody chat box. Okay, so this angle here, this triangle rather, or this pyramid here, I just broke it. I just made it more. I just make it clearer here, so that you're not confused. It's the same thing. I just broke it down. Okay, so this is what it is. So let me take, for instance, as I said, you know what the goal is. By April, I should be get a job by April. Let me just write it. Get a job by April, right? That's it. So what are some of the things that I mentioned? Job search. You see, this is very, very practical. So that job search, network or networking, networking, what's it called? Send CVs out. Job application. Okay, so these are the top things I need to do to be able to, okay, training. Complete HR refresher course. Okay. So now, let me take job search, for instance. Okay, now let me pause a little bit, everybody. The reason why I'm able to do this thing is because I already have the knowledge, okay? For most of you, it's not going to flow like this. So don't get frustrated. Don't think that you are nothing or you're in the wrong path because you found it difficult. No, the reason why I'm able to flow like this is because I know it. This is my field. I know all these things. I train people on job search, on how to look for jobs and all this. So I know all these things, right? These are the top things that you need to be able to do, okay? To be able to look for a job, for this word. So job search, right? Job search is, what are the things I need? What is the knowledge I need to have? Knowledge of tech firms in Lagos. Principles and practice. Principles and practice of HR in a tech firm. That's a skill. Okay. What again? 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 How to write an attractive CV and cover letter for tech jobs. Okay, so these are some of the skill or the knowledge I need to have. Do you see that job search, just this function that I want to be able to carry, this task or this step? Look at the things I need to be able to know to be able to do it. Come on, guys. Are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? So your goal, the reason why you're not achieving your goal is not because it's rocket science. There are things you are probably not doing right. There are things you're not doing right. Okay? Your goals are not invisible. They are achievable. There are things you're not doing right. How many of you, for the use of the word, have ever sat down to break your goal like this before? You won't. Some of us don't know. Okay? For every goal, there is a set of tasks that needs to be performed. For every task, there is a body of knowledge that you need to have. Write it down. For every goal, there is a list of tasks that needs to be performed. And for every task that needs to be performed, there is a body of knowledge that you need to have. A body of knowledge, skill, and attitude you need to have, brother. Okay. So what I want to do right now is to do what is called, yeah. Yes, yes, that's so true, so true. There is no way you break it down like this. There is no way. I didn't get here by mistake. I didn't change my life the way I did by mistake. I left my job. Listen. If I tell most of you that I'm not even up to 3 years in HR, some of you will not believe. But I have a business in HR. I have a business in it. See, I'm not one of those people that have 100 years experience. But bro, what I have been able to gather, what I know in just 3 years, forget it. Forget it. All right, so let me do something here. Let me show you something. Okay, so the next step is the the next step is the analysis part. Okay, so the analysis part, of course you don't have to do this. Let me explain what analysis is. Let me not confuse you guys. Analysis is simply comparing two of them. I'm going to say it again. Analysis is simply identifying the gap between what you need to know and what you currently know to be able to perform a particular task. So let me go here. So let us say the task here is job search. Remember what the goal is: get a job in April, right? Okay. Current state, desired state. All right. So this is a task we need to perform. Job search. We need to perform job search. This is what it is here. So what do I need to know? Current state, desired state. Okay, so this here is jobless. Sorry guys, I'm trying to walk around this. Oh, I did this for family. I did this for family. So let me take this out. Let me put KSA here. Don't worry, you'll be fine. So these are the things that we need to be able to know. Knowledge of tech firms in Lagos, principles and practice of HR in tech firms, and how to write an attractive CV and cover letter for tech firms, right? These are the things I need to know to be able to achieve, to be able to perform the task of job search, right? You ask yourself now, what do I know? Okay. What do I know? These are the things I need to know. What do I know? What do I know? Now, people, for you to transit from goals into tasks and tasks to KSA, you need to do what we call information gathering or data gathering. For every goal, as I said, there is a body of tasks that you need to perform to achieve that goal. How are you going to know those tasks if you don't do research? You cannot. Let me tell you something. If you know how to get a certain result, you would have gone to do it since. Are you hearing me? If you know how to get certain results, you would have done it since. So the reason why you have not achieved that goal is because there is a knowledge gap you have. So when you have a goal, go and research what the tasks that are needed to achieve that goal or those goals are. Go and research. So I'm going to give you ideas on how to gather information. Number one, research. Somebody should write it down on the chat box as I'm listing it so that somebody can take notes, because this is where the power is. Research your goals. Number two, ask people who have achieved those goals. Interview people who have achieved those goals. Number three, observe people who have achieved those goals around you. Observe them. So number one, I said research. Number two, interview. Number three, observe. Number four, get a mentor in that area. Somebody needs to guide you. Somebody should guide you. And a mentor is not just somebody you like. A mentor should be somebody that is willing and able to help you in a particular task. So any mentor you are getting is somebody that is already successful at the goal you want to achieve. Maybe they have already achieved it. So you need to know what they know, so that you need to know what they know, okay, to be able to achieve that goal for yourself. So research your goals, know the tasks and the activities that are needed to achieve that goal. Now, when you know these tasks and activities, now research those tasks and the activities and ask yourself, what are the knowledge, the skills, and the attitude I need to have to achieve that goal? Okay, so that is, remember I said that the reason why this thing is flowing for me is because I already know it. This is not a new thing for me. That's why I know all this thing. All the ideas I have poured here is because I already know it. Okay. So as I said, how do you gather data? Number one, research. Number two, interview people who have already achieved that result. Number three, observe people who have achieved it around you. Look at what they do. Look at how they live their life and everything. Look at how they take decisions. Look at all those stuff. Although observation is the weakest among all these things I just mentioned. Observation is the weakest because you might live in assumption. The best two is interview. Interview people. Ask them questions. Let them tell you what they know. Okay. Where do you get people? Go on LinkedIn, your church. They are all there. Okay. Hit people up online. Right? It's easy. There's nothing about being introvert and extrovert there. Okay? Talk to people, know what they know. Today, somebody told me how I would have been able to achieve a result that I postponed. I will not lie to you guys. I felt bad. And this guy was at my beck and call. When we were talking today, the guy just told me how he was able to help somebody achieve that result. I was like, yay! All right. Anyway, it happens. But again, that's what it is. Talk to people. No man is an island. As I said, every result is tied to a knowledge. Every result is tied to knowledge. The reason why somebody is successful at something is because they know something that you don't know. Let's make it as plain as possible. All right, so back to this place. So your desired state is, what are the things you need to know? Or what are the skills you need to have? Then now, your current state, you ask yourself, what do I know? What do I know? I don't know what you know, really. Okay, so I don't know what to write here. But let me just assume that you don't know anything. Right? So you know nothing. Okay, this is not an insult, it's just fact. You don't know anything. So what is the gap now? The gap is the comparison between your desired state and your current state. Since you don't know anything, definitely all these things become the gap. Okay? All these things become the gap. I'm being as analytic and as practical as possible. So since all these things are the gap, you now develop an action plan. How do you want to close the gap? That is where we now design a personal development plan. We cannot be able to do it today, all right? But if you do this, if you do this effectively, trust me, guys, there is no goal. If you sit down and you do this, you have achieved 40%, you have already achieved 40% of your goal. because the next one is just your daily routine and your consistency. All right, the next step will just be your daily routine and your consistency. Now, I know this part is a little bit technical, so I'm just going to rush through it again. Number one, I said when you have written down your goal, research your goal, get the steps and the activities associated with that goal. So let me give you this information for free. There are three major reasons why most times we are not able to perform the tasks that we need to perform to achieve our goals. So write it down. Number one is that you lack the knowledge, the skill, and the attitude to perform that task. I'm going to say it again. You lack the skill and the attitude to perform that task. The second reason why we don't perform the tasks that we need to perform to achieve our goals is that we lack the motivation to do it. So when motivation begins to go down, when you feel discouraged, when you're confused, when you're not as excited as you used to be, or you are becoming anxious and depressed, all right, those can affect perform, those tasks that will help you achieve the goal. The next thing is the wrong tools and environment. Okay, three major things that can affect your ability to perform certain tasks that will help you achieve your result. Number one is that you lack the knowledge, the skill, and the attitude to achieve it or to do it. Number two is that you lack the motivation to do it. Number three is that you're using the wrong tool or you're in the wrong environment. So it is when we identify which of this is your problem, that is when we will now develop a personal development tool for you. Okay, we will now develop a personal development plan for you rather on how to close that gap, right? So, but with what we just did right now, your goal is already 40% achieved if you can do this work. And as I said, you don't need to do it all by yourself. Consultants are out there. Okay, professionals are out there. Please seek help. One of the greatest mistakes people make when writing their goal is that they write it alone. There is nothing secretive about your goal. Let me just tell you. Yes, your big picture can be secretive, but your goal is not secretive because your goal is a road you must pass, and people don't already pass that road before. So there is nothing secretive about your goal. Your big picture, yes, might be unique to you, but your goal, nah. Remember that goals are just milestones. They are not the end. They are means to an end. All right. With these few points of mine, I hope you have gotten value today. Thank you for having me. We'll see when we see. So questions. All right. Questions. Yeah.
Victor, thanks so much. Really, I'm personally blessed. The question I just have is, I want to know that is there any formula for self-discovery, like to know who you really are, so that you'll be able to draw a big picture? Because I think that comes first. Because I don't know who I am, it's very difficult for me to set the kind of vision I want to achieve for my life and the goals that I need to put in place to get to that big picture. So is there any formula, is there any strategy to understand oneself?
Okay,
so that's my question, please.
Yeah, I think that was the first session I took. The first part of the training talked about personal clarity. And as I said, without personal clarity, you're just writing a to-do list. Your goal is a to-do list, right? So personal clarity is broken down into three major parts: personal identity, personal responsibility, and personal possibility. So personal identity talks about who you are, how you identify, right? And there are a lot of ways we identify. There are a lot of ways we identify in life that makes our life complex. Okay, as I said, one person can be a father, husband, brother, sister, child, father, and all those. You understand what I'm saying? So but you need to identify for you which of those identities is most important and which of them is on top. So if you want to ask me how I identify in family, I will tell you that I identify as a husband because I don't have a child yet. So I identify as a husband. Maybe when I start having children, father may become more important than husband, or may go side by side, right? Because I actually have to father my wife, right? So
father can become more important. So most of my energy, time, and resources goes into being a father. That does not mean that I'm going to abandon my parents or something, but it just means that majority of the time, that is what I'm thinking about. That is what I have a goal for. I don't have a goal of becoming the number one son-in-law in the world or the most outstanding son-in-law in the world, right? But I have a goal of building a home where my children get to know God, know who they are, and they are encouraged to pursue their best self in life. That is the big picture. That is what I want to be able to achieve at the end of the day, right? I'm just giving you some of this stuff to tell you how clear I am already about this stuff, right? So when you use some of the methods we have used, I think get the recording. The first session was about that personal clarity. So personal identity, personal responsibility, and personal possibility will help you crash most of all those confusion that people have about who they are and all those stuff. Because it's just about making a decision. Yeah, go ahead, Elijah.
Okay. I think I got that. Yeah, though I was just curious because at some point in my life I was like, okay, what do I really want to do? You understand? I know this, I know that, but what is coming to me is that I think maybe I'm going to apply the 2080 principle, the one that is really, especially in terms of career now.
Yeah.
So the one that is giving the 20% that is giving me energy, that is giving me the 80% of the results. I think that should be what I should channel my energy to, because as of I was like, okay, do I really want, because you get distracted easily when you don't have a set goal or a big picture of where you are going. You get distracted. You want to become this, you want to become a UI UX designer, you want to become a illustrator, illustration designer, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, at this point,
yeah.
But I think I get everything now. I think
so
I get.
All you need to do is to write them according to priority and ask yourself, which is number one, which is number two, which is number three, which is a side hustle right now, which is what I want to see myself do in the nearest future. Do you understand? What is the one I want to? Which one is the side hustle? So that I don't major on the minor, right? Because actually, at some point in your life, your side hustle will become more important than the main hustle. The reason is because the main hustle have not started bringing in the real money. So you can't drop the side hustle because you are building a major hustle. So you build them, you carry them side by side. You don't forget the main hustle. You never forget the main hustle. That is why no matter what you do, you must create time for your main hustle. Do you understand? You must create time for your main hustle. That's why when people are working, you're working Monday to Saturday, you don't have time to pay attention on the one that is the main thing. Very soon, the minor will become the major in your life, and that's where your life ends. So at that point, it's no longer dream, it's just survival.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much. I really appreciate that explicit explanation. Thank you so much.
Wahala. All right, guys. You need more help. You need personal help. Let's just reach out to Elijah. He can reach out to me, and we can take it up from there.
I also have a question right here.
All right, Johnson. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time and everything. Now, my question is, in a situation whereby you have your progression you are doing, and then most of this thing actually happen. Like, I'm a developer, I'm a software engineer, so I'm into development. Now, sometimes when you are learning, when you're starting, and you are learning, you are learning, and then you need to survive. You understand what I mean? Like, you need something to be doing, to be getting you some small changes. How do you go about that? Like, okay, my own experience was like, okay, I'm into programming, like some stuff and everything, but most jobs I'm getting WordPress job, you know what I mean, like doing sharp WordPress, and then you get your money, but What's happened to us is as a developer, when you actually committed to WordPress, not that you really liked doing WordPress, but because of the money, that one will fetch money for you very fast. But you have to neglect, the programming aspect. And then the more you neglect the programming aspect, programming is not something that you just leave and come back, like leave. Like it's something like you do constantly, like full-time stuff you do. But because you just need to get some money very quickly, so you have to go for the WordPress, like, guy, please let me do this thing fast. Okay, let me do it for you. And you understand what I mean? So how do you balance that? How do you balance that? And then you still have a long way to go in your career. Maybe you have some courses to do, just to that's so a long way to go. Like, how do I do about that? Like, how do you balance that?
All right, Johnson, as I said, the first thing is being clear about what is your number one. Do you understand? When you're clear about your number one, you know what the side hustle is and you know what the main hustle is, right? So personal clarity comes in. I know, trust me, I understand the Nigeria economy, but I also understand something, that some of the things that are fetching you money today might not fetch you money tomorrow, okay? Which is the sad reality. LinkedIn released a post, I think last year, that 8 out of 10 of the highest paying jobs in the tech world right now was not in existence 10 years ago, meaning that things are changing, right? And things are changing fast. So if you are not, if you're just living for survival and you're not positioning yourself for future opportunities, you're not, in an industry where you are actively, you're passionate about it and you're growing yourself in it, so that if when opportunities show up in this area, you are ready to take them up. Because trust me, we have not really seen the true impact of COVID-19 in the world yet. I always tell people that the companies that are going to emerge in the next 5 years, we don't know who they are. They are not on top right now. Most of them are not on top right now. And they are going to emerge from nowhere, right? So what you need to know as a person is, number one, what is my number one? What am I most passionate about? And what do I see myself doing in the long term? Now, what am I doing to survive, right? Now, how can I marry both of them in such a way that what I want to do in the long term does not suffer while I am trying to hustle? Because I need the money I'm getting from my side hustle to be able to fund my life and also to fund my dream. Do you understand? Johnson, this thing is a little bit personal. It's not generic. It's not like it's a formula, right? I know that there are some undertone. There are some things on the background too that you probably have not told me, which will help us to come up with the best possible uh, solution and also development plan for you. So I'm not going to waste other people's time and all that. But I know that there are some stories that you probably have not told me, which we need to put things into perspective, right? Because as a coach, I know that the problem you tell me is not always the problem. It's something else that is the problem. So if there's a way we can have a one-on-one, it will really help. All right.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Like I really understand. I really understand it, because why the reason why I asked the question is that, fine, personally, it happens to me. And then most people that are into this development job, like development role, most of them, I have so many people I advise that they should start this thing, and I log on this the complaint, like, God, like, we have to survive. And then you understand, and then this programming job, when you start it, what I used to tell people, like, you can't fetch you money instantly. Like, there's a certain level you have to reach before getting money. Understand? But depending the time to reach that certain level, yeah, you have to be doing some things. So how to now balance it so that the thing we are now doing, that it's not to overwhelm us, than the other one, but I understand what you say. So I really appreciate, sir. God bless you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you for your questions. I believe we have taken all the questions. So I think one major thing we are all having issues with as a Nigerian is the fact that because of the economic situation of the country, the focus. So there are a lot of side hustles that we have to do to survive and thrive. So to really get to that point of focusing on one thing, it's a long journey. But we thank God.
No, don't you see? Let me. Can I shock you? Even your passion. Do you know that your passion was learned? You learn your passion. Aha, that's another level. You learn your passion. I told you there is nobody that was born with anything written in their heart. So anything that you have come to know and enjoy today was because you learned it. You get? So even that thing you're calling a passion and all that, better look at it twice again though, so that you just know your next move.
That's true. That's true. Because the truth is, there are some things that because of our environment we are not exposed to. So they are not our.
But true. Yeah.
If we are to leave our environment, we might even discover that what we call our passion before is because of where we are living.
Thank you.
By the time we move. Well, that's true.
And if peradventure your NEPA bills and your light bills and your water bills stop being a problem, you'll be shocked what your passion will automatically become.
Yeah.
So you see that at the end of the day, people are reacting. People are not really living. That's why Nigerians don't create. Yeah. That's why Nigerians don't create. And that's why when you take Nigerians out of Nigeria, it's just like you just activated a monster. Like they are excelling at everything. You know why? Because the basic thing that is our pursuit is no longer the pursuit. So they have clarity of purpose. And which is what we don't. That's why in Nigeria you have to, I'm telling you this thing, you have to know God, trust God that in the midst of this road that you are walking, God will hold your hand. Because even in the midst of the survival and everything, some of the biggest churches in the world right now are in Nigeria. Some of the most successful pastors are in Nigeria. The most intelligent family in America are Nigerians. The most intelligent family in UK are Nigerians. The most educated immigrants in America are Nigerians. In the midst of this whole stuff, there are people who have also risen above that, narrative. And they have said that my situation can never define my future. I have a right to choose my life regardless of what has happened to me or what is happening to me. Imagine if I had gone to teach physics because I studied physics education. Do you understand? Because I was under pressure to survive. Imagine if I went to, all these things would have eluded me. And do you know what? That mindset. Yeah. You see? That's it. So I won't be here, number one. I won't have started my business. And remember that the mindset that made me to go and start that job will keep me there. That is even the worst one. That's the worst one. The mindset that took me there will keep me there. That's why you have a choice at the end of the day. You either choose survival or you choose purpose. Yes, that I'm telling you the truth. You either choose survival or you choose purpose. But in the midst of choosing purpose, you need to have sense. You must know how to navigate it. Because it has its own challenges too.
So sorry, yes, sir. Are you with me, sir?
I'm with you.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be goals, so this one right now is another thing.
You know, it's actually a different thing in Nigeria, and then maybe when you are in another part of the country, like you're another country, like it's another thing entirely. You know, personally, when I was in Nigeria, like the the problem, I don't have much responsibility. What I mean, like, okay, maybe where I'm from, Ogumosho, like, not like all these house rent. I don't pay house. I'm from this house, my house. So not
Yeah.
like paying. I don't know anything like okay, bills and everything. But getting out of that place to another country, like, is another thing entirely. Like, you have to be paying every month. Like, you, you have to be paying every month.
Yeah.
You have to pay their NEPA bills, electricity, all this water, and then internet, anything you use here, like, you just have to pay for it.
Yes.
So now, imagine you don't have anything. That's why. Okay, I do graphics. I do all these.
Freelance.
I'm not. I know within me, I'm not a graphic designer. I know
Mm.
within me, I'm not a
Mm.
graphic designer. I'm not into video graphic or anything. But sometimes I just have to do it. Like, sometimes I just have to do it just to get some page.
Johnson, do you know that your ability to do it already is a show that God have actually put it there for a reason? You just need to know and discern the season right. Don't make what you do your identity. Do you
Hmm.
understand? Don't be careful when you make what you do your identity, because you don't know when God is calling you into something else. That is why at the end of the day, God is at the center of our life. He's the one that calls the shots. Do you understand? At different seasons in your life, some certain things will become important and some certain things will become clear. As they become clearer, God will also teach you how to morph into that person. Sorry, I have to ask some of this. I have to answer some of these questions that are on the chat. Okay, so Olasukomi Mercy said, is it advisable to combine like different goals together and how to balance them, especially having friends? Now, so Mercy, this is what it is, right? It is advisable that you go into the year with at least three, no, not at least, with three major goals, three for different areas of your life, right? It can be family, health, career. It can be business, finance, career. It cannot be business and career. It can be business, health, or what's it called, relationship, whatever it is. Just have three major goals in each of these areas of your life. So in career, have a goal. In family, have a goal. In health, have a goal. I'm just giving you instance. Remember, I did not give you guys the full training. I gave you the training as it regards career. I did not give you the full goal setting training, right? That's why probably you are asking this question. But yes, you can combine different goals in different areas of your life. Just like what I have done for you guys in career, you can do it in family, you can do it in business, you can do it in relationship, you can do it in health, right? So you can do it in other areas of your life. Now, listen, your goals determines the things you will do, the things you will learn, and the people around your space. If the friends you keep are not going in your direction, you are in the wrong company. There is no better way of saying this thing, and I'm not trying to sugarcoat this thing for anything, right? You are the one that is just being emotional about the relationship. What God brings people into our life to help us move forward. To help us stay where we are. Thank you very much. That's the best I can say. All right. So apply wisdom, and I hope it helps. Another one is, if your goals are broken down and is not, if your goals are broken down already and the situation around is not helping matter, what do I do? So what you need to do is to start with what you can do. Learning is the cheapest thing that you can start with. Learning about anything is the cheapest. Volunteering is cheap, is free. Internship might not cost you so much.
So there are things you can do that is free and is relevant to your goals. So look for the one that you can start at that particular time in your life. Don't look for the complex big one that involves plenty money. Look for the one that you can start with. Okay, and start with it. That's how to start, because the moment you start and you gather momentum, it will help you. All right. Okay, so thank you. As I said, you can still reach me on a personal base. Just talk to Elijah. Elijah will hook us up and we'll take care from there.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for this. We are very, very grateful. So it has been a long session. Thank you for your time. And thank you for taking those questions. And I must tell you, it's a very big topic that we have discussed today. Thank you, sir. And it also helped every one of us to be more responsible to each other and to ensure that for every decision we are making, we are ready to take responsibility of it.
Yes.
And also ensure that we are not majoring on the minor, and at the end of the minor will now become the major. So we should not allow the situations of surrounding us to actually dictate what our identity will be. So we should do that. So we hope to put everything we have learned into practice. Personally, I have decided that I'm still going to listen to the recording many more times, because a lot of things have been. So we are also going to try to reach out to. In fact, we have a lot of people that register for this program, but I don't know where we missed it. Maybe we have issue with communication. I can't really say. Many of them are not around now. So we are going to get the recordings through to all of them, and we are still going to promote we'll try our best to promote the recordings, because it's such a great value. So thank you very much, sir. We are so grateful, and we are happy to have you around. Hopefully, we are still going to get you back on our platform as soon as possible. And in fact, we might have you to create a course on our platform, because this is so amazing. It's one of the most important skills that we need to have as individuals. So thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. So I will call on Mr. Elijah to round off the session and to help us in appreciating our speaker. Mr. Elijah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Mr. Abraham, thank you so much. Thank you so much. This is a life-changing training. This is a life-changing webinar, I must say. I've learned a lot, and I must say that every one of us must have also learned one or two things. Thanks so much for coming around. We really appreciate you. And for everyone that joined, we are. I'm sure that we've all seen that this is not just what we need to take with levity hands. We need to put in the action as soon as possible. I'm sorry for the background noise. It's my baby that is crying. I'm sorry, our mom is not here, so I'm sorry, please. So please, let's make sure that we put in the work. We should take action immediately, and when immediately we get the recordings, let's make sure that we take actions. So we look forward to have every one of us around in our subsequent training. We are going to be coming up with much more training this year, and we want you to be part of everything that we are doing. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for coming around. Mr. Abraham, thank you so much. Really appreciate you. Thank you. Regards to the family. Thank you.
Wahala. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the best of 2022.
That's all for today, please. We can leave the chat, please. Thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you. We appreciate everyone. Thank you.